My friends, I'm coming to you live from my home, and for some of you, oh my goodness, I think it's been 20 years, 22, 24 years. So it might feel a little bit odd to be receiving a video email from me after all this time. For those of you who are connected with me on Facebook, I'm sure you can't help but have noticed that I am very actively promoting and putting information on my Facebook about this home business project that I'm involved in. And I fully expect that I'm getting a ton of reactions, a variety of reactions, because that's just the way it goes. And I want you to know that I feel strongly enough about it after having done it for 10 years to bring it and put it in front of some people that I care about very much, and that would be you. And I guess one of the first things I want you to know before I kind of jump into things is uh, this is somewhat for my benefit. I admit it because I am a businesswoman and I am in business. But what's motivating me the most at this point in my career is to help other people, especially people that I care about. And there is actually a lot more benefit for a lot of you in this project than there will end up being for me, both financially and I think I'm going to have to start working a little bit harder once it really takes off. But that's okay. I'm prepared to do that. So I'll get back to that in a moment. The first thing I wanted to do is maybe fill in some blanks for those of you who I haven't had the opportunity to have a conversation with or an email with on Facebook or chat or even on the phone. I left the North when I was 18. I left and went away to school. I went to Kingston, where I went to school for 3 years. And I think I came back for about 2 weeks when I was finished that program until I moved down to the Niagara region. And then I think I came back one more time when I was perhaps 20 or 21 for about a week around Christmas time. And that's about it, or maybe it was a summer. I'm not even sure. It's been that long. But that's about it. So I've lost touch with so many of you for so many years. And a few people have said to me on Facebook, I wondered what happened to you. It was like, I didn't know where you were, and I'd lost contact with you, and nobody seemed to know where you were. So where I've been is really all over the place. I've traveled and lived a lot all over Canada. Went to different schools, had different careers, created a few messes, cleaned up those messes, had some relationships, and I feel like I lived a very full life. And then when I got to my early 30s, I was working in an office in Montreal, actually, as a human resources manager. And that's when it hit me that there's got to be more to it. There's got to be more to my life. And I wanted more, definitely more income, because I was really tired of living paycheck to paycheck. And I also wanted more of my own time. I wanted to live my life on my terms. And so I actively went looking for the way to do that. And I put about 6 months worth of research into it. And after thinking about first of all, I decided I wanted to be self-employed somehow, because that's the only way you're really in charge of your time. The second thing was I looked at a lot of traditional businesses and came up with some really great ideas. And when I looked at funding and overhead and startup costs, all that kind of stuff, it was a little bit overwhelming. Then I came across a concept called residual income. I don't know how familiar that is to you, but for me it was brand new. I had never heard of it before until I realized what it was and who was making it. And it's the people who make movies, the people who have hit records, the people who are in a sitcom that runs every year, year after year, and they get residual income for that one-time effort that they made. And of course, we don't get that in a job. It's trading hours of work for wages. So I fell in love with the concept of residual income. So then I went on a quest to figure out exactly how to get it. Well, I didn't have any money to invest in anything or the stock market. So home-based business came across my desk, I guess you could say, because I was still working at the time. And I was bound and determined to figure out what it was, if there was any legitimacy to it, and if there was a good program that I could plug into, because home-based businesses tend to be very low overhead, very low startup. Now that was me. I actively went, searching for it, and it might not even be on your radar right now, or you might be at the stage where you're thinking, well, I would like to have more time, come to think of it, or, well, yeah, more money would definitely benefit me. And the thing that I love about this project that I've been involved with for 10 years is that absolutely anybody can do it. You don't have to be a salesperson. You don't have to even be much of a people person. You don't even have to be a really outgoing person. Because the common denominator is that it exists because we all do something anyway. And I'll get to that more as we go along. It's been a great 10 years, and I feel like my whole 10-year career in this industry has led up to this point. And that's the point where I'm bringing it to you, the people that I'm connected to and who are connected to other people who I'm also connected to. And that's what I've been watching for 10 years in this industry go on for the people who have had tremendous success. Some of you may have listened to some of the success stories, watched those videos on my Facebook, and a lot of those people have tapped in to people that they know or some sort of group they're a part of, and that's how everybody does so well. Now, it's not because they're any smarter than any one of us, and it's not because they have, great business experience. Typically, they're tapping into people that they know and deciding together as a group to do this for everyone's mutual benefit. And when I thought about it, I thought, where is my group? Who are my people? And it's amazing how I came right back to my roots, those same roots that when I was 18 years old, I ran from. Well, that's a whole other story, which I'm happy to share with you, but not here today. So the other thing that's happened, which has made me more excited about this for you, for anybody, in the past 10 years is Facebook. Facebook is a gold mine. It is the golden opportunity. It doesn't all have to be through Facebook, but is such an easy way to build an income using Facebook. Now, I want to acknowledge right off the fact that, everybody's scared when someone mentions some sort of business to them. You might think I'm going to try and shove something down your throat. I'm not. In fact, I'm not going to follow up with you. It's going to be up to you. I'm going to leave it up to you to contact me or whoever is involved if you want to be a part of this. I just really want to take the time to tell you my motives and tell you how it works and tell you how it could benefit you in a variety of ways on so many levels. And so this is just going to be part one. There's going to be a few parts to it because I have a few specific areas, and YouTube only lets you make a 10-minute video at a time. So please don't be afraid of any sort of pressure or intimidation or harassment or anything like that, because that's not the way this works. When I was doing my research, I also want you to know that I looked at I don't think there's a home business that you could mention that comes to mind for you that I didn't look at or I'm not familiar with. And I want to say this. To this day, 10 years later, there is no other home business out there that I have seen that I believe that you or me, a six-figure income earner in this industry, could be highly successful in. I don't mean to offend anyone. I think a lot of home businesses have some good products, and for a lot of people, they're kind of fun hobbies. You might make a little bit of money, but the kind of income that I'm talking about that you could potentially make here can be life-altering income, and there's very few people who ever achieve that in the what I call selling type or MLM type of home businesses. So if you've tried that, don't like it, feel like you've failed, there's a lot of people out there who feel the same way.